Picture this. You are a hunter-gatherer 13,000 years ago. The sun has just gone down over what is now Israel. You are hungry. You walk over to a hollowed-out stone bowl. It is filled with a weird-smelling mash of wild wheat and barley. It has been sitting in the sun for days. You eat it. 2 hours later, the world feels different. Warmer, funnier. Your face is numb. You have no idea why this happened, but you want to feel it again, and you will do almost anything to get it back. This is the story of the first drink. Here is the thing nobody tells you about the first alcohol. We think of ancient people as desperate for food, hungry, surviving. But the evidence suggests something weirder. Our ancestors may not have started farming because they were starving. They may have started farming because they wanted to get drunk. The first beer likely came before the first loaf of bread. And that one drink might have changed everything. Let us start with a clue hidden inside your body right now. You have a gene called ADH4. It helps your body break down alcohol. Here is the wild part. That gene evolved in our primate ancestors around 10 million years ago, long before humans existed, long before we made tools or fire. Our lineage has been able to process ethanol for millions of years, but processing it and deliberately making it are two different things. Now we jump forward to 13,000 years ago. Archaeologists working in Raqefet Cave in Israel made a stunning find. They found stone mortars carved into the cave floor. And when they scraped the residue off those mortars, they tested it. It was not bread. It was not porridge. It was beer. 13,000-year-old beer. Let that sink in. These were Natufian hunter-gatherers. They were making beer 2,000 years before anyone started farming. They did not have farms. They did not have fields. They had a stone bowl and a recipe. Now here is where it gets really interesting. Why did these people start harvesting wild wheat and barley in the first place? Here is the problem. Raw wheat and barley are not great food. They are difficult to digest. They are nutritionally poor compared to meat. And you have to process them just to make them edible. So why bother? Why spend all that time gathering, mashing, and soaking? The answer might be the byproduct: fermentation, alcohol. There is a hypothesis called beer before bread. It suggests that early people cultivated grain, not for calories, but for booze. Here is the logic. The Natufians were semi-sedentary. They settled near wild cereal fields. They protected those fields, and the leading theory among some archaeologists is this. They were not protecting a food supply. They were protecting a brewery. Sure, some of this was about food too. Hunger mattered. But there is a deeper layer. The desire for alcohol may have been the reason we started planting seeds at all. Now let us travel east, 9,000 years ago in China. At a site called Jiahu, something else was brewing. Archaeologists found pottery jars with chemical signatures. Inside those jars was a fermented drink, made from rice, honey, and fruit, a primitive mead or beer. And here is the key detail. The people at Jiahu were still hunter-gatherers, not full-time farmers. They were brewing beer without farms. Now let us go to Turkey. 11,000 years ago, hunter-gatherers built something incredible. Göbekli Tepe. It is the oldest known temple in the world. Massive 20-ton stones carved with animals. But here is the strange part. There were no houses at Göbekli Tepe. No kitchens, no bedrooms, just these massive communal structures. And right next to them, archaeologists found huge stone vats. Vats for brewing. So here's the theory. Thousands of hunter-gatherers gathered at this temple. They built it together, and they did it while drinking beer. Alcohol was not just a drink. It was social glue. It held these massive collaborative projects together. The first parties were building parties. Now we move forward to Mesopotamia, 7,000 years ago. In the Zagros Mountains of Iran, something changed. Archaeologists found pottery with barley beer residue. This is the earliest direct evidence of deliberate barley brewing in the region. And this is where writing begins. The first written records are not poetry. They are not history, they are beer rations. Sumerian accountants tracked who got how much beer. The first bureaucracy was beer management. Now here is the punchline. Once you start brewing, you need more grain. So you clear more land, you settle, you build granaries to store grain. You build cities, you organize labor to manage fields. You invent writing to track who owes you beer. And suddenly you have civilization. All because people wanted to get drunk. Think about that for a second. We tell ourselves agriculture started because people were hungry. But the evidence says something stranger. We may have started farming because we wanted to alter our consciousness, to feel something different, to escape ordinary reality for a few hours. That urge was so powerful. It might have driven civilization itself. We did not just invent alcohol. Alcohol might have invented us. So the next time you hold a drink, remember this. You are not just having a beer. You are taking part in a tradition that is 13,000 years old, a tradition that may have built the world you live in. And if you ever feel bad about wanting a drink after a long day, do not worry, your ancestors were doing it too. They just did not have a couch to fall asleep on. They had a stone floor. There is a whole world of these little human mysteries. Stick around if you are curious about being human, because trust me, we are just getting started.